The Final Fantasy VII series is growing with every new entry, more input to the story, new changes, and you're wondering, where does Remake Rebirth stand in the whole story? How does it affect the original? Where do I start playing the series? You might ask yourself. You want to experience the epic story. Fortunately, there is more than one way to play the series. And it does not mean you have to play the original first. Let's take it easy and let me tell you why. The first way to play the game is by starting with the original Final Fantasy VII on PS1. It is the one that laid the entire groundwork, the characters, the story, the setting. Everything in this game is what you need to know to get and understand the rest of the games. Along with Nobuo Uematsu's soundtrack for the original game, beautiful music, fitting themes for each character and event, it's unforgettable. It is that good of a soundtrack. The PS1 visuals are always charming because you get to see two types of visuals. The regular overworld characters, and then you get the battle characters. This is a perfect example of what we will never see again because graphics are too good these days, and there's only one character model for everything. No more do we have this overworld slash battle phases. Even seeing it now, it's it's very heartwarming and charming seeing what they did back then to make it look good enough, you know? As I said earlier, it's important to start with this one in this way of playing the series. With everything given to you, you understand how the world works, why these things happen, what the characters go through. All the prequels, all the sequels, they fill in more detail than wasn't in the original. And that gives it a bigger world. And then comes Remake, where it completely changes everything. Playing the original first gives you the big heads up, and you get to be wowed at the changes and new parts. The new information is actually great to know, as in, wow, they changed that up, or there's more detail now. You can't quite get that if you play Remake first. So in this route, playing Crisis Core 2nd is vital. It is a prequel to the whole story of 7, and it gives you a big backstory to a character you see a few times. And that character is the best of the best, Zack Fair. Crisis Core is a prequel released in 2007 for the PSP, remastered in 2022 to be bundled in a way with the remake new voice cast. The game looks amazing. The remaster is just a simple little upgrade here and there. Some of the visuals are not present in the original PSP. So you get a more complete idea of what everything is supposed to look like. The neighborhood, Shinra HQ, Shinra building itself looks amazing. But we'll also see the sectors and the slums. And they look way better, obviously. The character models are all pretty much on par with Remake. Of course, not as good, but it's very well done. You might be wondering why play the prequel second if it's going to be more filler or more add-ons to the story, right? Well, there's a big reason, and it's better off playing the original first for that said reason. Trust me when I say this, it is more satisfying seeing the original story first and then this prequel. You won't get the same effect at all if you play it backwards or out of order. It is that good of a story. Now the gameplay is completely different. It is an action game with JRPG elements, and you have hundreds of side quests, which are pretty short or have a little continuing quest line. And it's pretty cool, but it's a lot. I'll be honest right now. You can get the whole list right here. I won't say there's a few side quests. There's over 300. It is clear that Crisis Core is a bit of a foundation for the action-oriented remake game. The button presses, the abilities, it's all present here. This is a good little precursor to say, oh, so this is what remake built upon. It's marvelous in a way. This game is still a bit barren on the mechanics, but it's still well done enough to say, yeah, it's a fun and great game. So trust me when I say, play Crisis Core 2nd. The story is a big payoff if you play the original first. Finally, you can get to the remake. Now, this is a very important detail. Playing Remake third on the list gives you everything you need to know already since you played the original and Crisis Core. The new detour and story in this game is simply amazing. My favorite part is the new background for Avalanche. In the original, you get to meet them, but you didn't get to know enough about them. So a lot of people say, I like them, but I don't really care about them as characters. Trust me when I say this. You will truly care about them in this game. And it's worth it. It's worth knowing what their stories are. The gameplay evolution of it being more action-oriented with JRPG elements is well done. Better than Crisis Core. The visuals are amazing, obviously. The animation for gameplay is, wow, I was impressed all the way. Seeing how the characters fight, how they move, how their clothing reacts, weapon changes, like in the original. It's one of the best things I've seen in gaming in a long time. You can see here how different it is from the original too, so it's not just a one-to-one on the setting either. The story is also great in that sense, you know. The voice acting, some of the best I ever heard. There were moments when I felt the emotion from the voice acting. All the voice actors nailed the role perfectly. I cannot overstate how good they are at the roles. This is why I say play Remake third on the list, because it gives you the new voice acting and it feels amazing. It really changes the game up when you don't have to make a voice for yourself on the character. It helps a lot with the voice acting. The new twists in the story are amazing and it changed up the story in a great way. Not just in events, but also what the characters do, how they react, why it's going on. It adds new elements and it feels like the new ground can actually change a lot of things. And it actually does, in more than a few ways. Trust me when I say this, some parts will leave you in awe. So that's my recommended way, the first way at least, to play the series. But the other way is by playing only the remakes. You didn't play the original, maybe you might want to play Crisis Core, but there's more surprises for you if you only play the remakes solo. Trust me on that one. There's more surprises for you as a new fan. You will feel lost like we all were. And it's a different experience not everyone can get either. That's it for those two. Take your pick. Both are unique experiences you will never experience with any other franchise. Whichever way you pick of playing the series, I hope you have a lot of fun and enjoy the ride, because trust me, this story is worth playing through no matter how you play it. Have fun and enjoy the games. I'll see you next time.